Hey everyone, welcome to Michelle's Mystic Corner. I am Michelle Metheny. Today I am interviewing psychic medium Sunni Hancock. Hi Sunny, how are you today?
I'm great. How are you?
I am good. So we have with us, obviously, Sunni Hancock. Oops, I forgot to turn my YouTube on. And so Sunny is actually my teacher, and we just finished our last class with psychic mediumship, and actually today is our graduation. So, and I have my sitter, my person that I am bringing to be read. My husband Dan is going to be coming today, so I'm kind of excited for that.
I'm excited for
So,
that. Awesome.
yeah. So, just a few quick announcements. Blog Talk Radio. If you would like a reading later on in the show, please just come over to YouTube. I do not have access to the radio to be able to answer the calls. So come check us out on YouTube. That would be fantastic. And also come over to our website. Check out our website. It is psychic.cafe. You will find a lot of really cool stuff over there. And so, Sunny, I have some questions for you, if that's okay with you.
Absolutely.
Okay. So, can I just start with how did you know that how did you know that you were special? That you know, because
Watch
I'm
your
sure
tongue to avoid the word gift.
yes, because a lot of people at first don't know, like, oh, there's
I
something
didn't
wrong
either.
with me, right? They think there's something wrong with me. Like, what's going on? So, how did you know that there was something different about you?
Interestingly enough, this starts off feeling as a negative when you're little and you're definitely, something's different. I can key point a few things that everyone out there might be experiencing or remember experiencing is moments of dread, like I don't belong here, something's wrong with me, something's wrong right now. I don't understand. Why do I feel like I don't belong here? And I used to think that often. I would dream of flying almost nightly and then wake up feeling as though I'm falling. So those are three key things to note, and being very afraid of the dark. There's just different things that are telltale signs of you're gonna grow up and you're gonna realize one day that you are hyper aware of everyone and everything around you. So when I began mediumship itself, it first started with the interest. I watched Tyler Henry. I watched all of the greats, James Van Prague, you name them. I came across a Megan Elisa video on the YouTube about 7 years back. And her story resonated with me personally. And I was like, whoa, maybe me being overly talkative and wanting to save the world, that was who I was. I always very selfless. People would make fun of me for it. And I would feel like something was wrong with me, when in turn, it's really your biggest superpower and you don't even know it. So I decided, wow, I'm going to try this. So I didn't have a lot of money. And as you know, most development classes cost upwards of $700 to about $4,000 for Michael Mayo, say. His course my mentor took was $4,000. And I was like, well, I can't afford that. How am I going to develop? So I got a hold of Audrey Gordon, and I'm going to give her due respect there because she was on the TikTok. And I just messaged her and said, hey, I'm just starting out. I would like to know, where do I start? And she took a phone call with me for absolutely nothing. I never took a class of hers, and I feel a little ashamed of not doing that because I owed her that due respect. I had her tell me, go to Facebook, join the groups, practice, 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 sit in the power. Sitting in the power is the number one key to development. Everybody struggles with it. And I haven't met a student yet who has said, oh, I just have a hard time meditating. It's just me. I just can't. No excuses. Everyone can. It is hard for everyone. That is the point. Repetition is how you grow that. So that's how I learned, was that I could do it. And it really wasn't until my first validation that I was sure of it. So there's a lot to it, really. Like, how do you know? It's just, if you feel drawn to it, then you should know. That's just as easy as it is.
Right, right. And so, sorry, I'm looking at my little notes here. Okay. Another question that I have is, we all have a guide.
Correct.
So how would we tap into, say, connect with that guide?
I'm ADHD, so as you know, I use guided meditations. I have scoured the internet to find the perfect gatekeeper meditation, and I just found it as our class ended. So I will be sharing the link to that. It's a 16-minute guided meditation on getting the calling card. What a calling card is, what sensation or thought or whatever comes in with your gatekeeper guide, which is the one guide that you're going to work with for mediumship. You have hundreds of guides, mind you, but for mediumship alone, you definitely need your gatekeeper, is the most important one. And protection,
Awesome.
of course, calling in protection and grounding yourself. All of those things are very, very important. So yeah, meditation. There you go.
Nice. Okay. And then what motivates you? What motivates you to do this?
Since I was a child, loved making people happy, and helping to heal people's wounds. I don't know how to describe that any better, but when I was young, I wanted to save my parents. I wanted to save the neighbor. It didn't matter what it was. I couldn't handle a deer we hit one time when I was about 7. I cried for 3 hours because my uncle actually had to go back and put it down, and they laughed at me because it hurt so much for me. But it's just being connected to your emotional feminine side that really is the motivator for me, is to help others in any way I can.
So then I'm assuming that's also what motivates you to teach others their mediumship as well.
That's a hilarious part of it, because I thought, okay, great, I can do this. Like, I was so excited, and I can open up my calendar and book private clients, and I go on live. I demonstrate a lot with just random people so that everyone can see how I work and that I'm legitimate. Then I go in and I book privates. Well, I started noticing I had less people in my not my Zooms, but my TikTok lives than other creators of the same caliber of readers. And I didn't understand it, and I was kind of getting down about it, but my guides really thoroughly came through and said, it's because you're supposed to teach. There's a small group of people that are coming into your lives are there because they're meant to be in your classes, not be read for. So spirit moves you if you accept it, because of the law of free will. If you ask them to please guide you in the direction of your purpose, that's what happens. And so teaching brought a new element to it. And my very first student is a great friend of mine today. I hope she's watching. I can't see the YouTube on my end, but she blows me away each and every time I watch her read. It's like watching magic unfold. And there's some kind of loving feeling and upliftment that brings for the person who teaches. So you guys do as much for me as I've ever done for you. And it's a good exchange. It's beautiful and it's all of love and light. So that's how I ended up teaching. And there's been moments where it's been hard and there's been curious, like, should I be doing this? Should I continue doing this? And I always fall back on, yes, I have to keep doing this. So
Well,
I also write books too, and I
yeah.
do journals. And I actually brought this one just to show you guys the medium in the making. This one is just a journal to write down your development journey in. So whether it's a notebook or anything, journal. Anybody out there listening who wants to strive to develop their mediumship, journal, because you can see your progress throughout your journaling. And mine specifically had things like this in it, where it says breathe, take time to breathe. And then there's a tip of the day on the bottom of every page. Yeah.
Do you have a link?
Trust, do you want to trust or do you want to fear? Which way do you want to go in your life? So trust yourself, trust what you feel you should be doing, and you will never go wrong.
Mm-hmm. Do you have a link where you can get those books?
Yeah, they're available on Amazon. My website, I should share I forgot to give you guys the website link. My website link has everything from my TikTok, where that's my biggest platform, the Facebook group, the books I've written, and the journals that I have published and the ones I have coming out. So Amazon under Ember Rain. And I can show you just like my first book I ever wrote, this Ember Rain, that's my pen name down there. So if you looked up, I went to Amazon and put Ivy Transformed and Ember Rain in the search bar, this would come up. And then you just go to my author page. But with the journals, I noticed that they don't show up immediately on that page. So I would just type in the title, Medium in the Making. And I have two versions, one under Sunny Hancock and one under Ember Rain. They're one salmon pink and one is light pink. Apparently the burgundy color wasn't available. Amazon picked the salmon color for me.
Oh.
They really did.
And what is your website?
That's a good question. I don't know the exact, it's a link. So it's hard to say what it's under. I think it's Awakened Intentions with Sunny. It's the same as my YouTube channel, which I was trying to log into and I didn't even bother with the forgot the password stuff because that gets monotonous, right?
Yes. Well, and Dax Carlisle, he is the founder of Tarot Guild and Psychic Cafe. He is a tarot professional. He can help you get set up. He can help you with your getting into the cafe website.
I think I might have done that. I did reset the password and I don't know what I was doing that day, but I do believe that I'm all set up on there. I just haven't really had time to add to it. Like the bio and all of the information yet. I got to add to all of that.
Right. Well, he's really awesome. And if you have any questions at all, he will totally help you out and set you up. And yes.
That's awesome. And yeah, what was I thinking? Okay. So your YouTube channel, I went through a lot of your guys' past interviews and I can't believe you don't have more people hitting that like. Come on, you guys, if you're watching this, hit the like button, comment something, subscribe. These people are amazing. Yes. I have just been in awe of some of your guests that you guys have on here. The Tarot Guild itself is amazing. It should be huge. So if I could set an intention for one thing to come from my interview today, it would be that this channel of yours be seen by the world.
Thank you.
In a bigger way to impact more people.
You are amazing. I know that I absolutely adore you. Being one of your students and now one of your friends has been amazing. It's just awesome.
I love that. I love it, because people used to not like me. That was my big thing. Like, and I'm a lot, so I'm not for everyone. That's okay. But when I was younger, people just didn't like me, and I could not figure out why. I'm so nice to everyone. Why does everyone not like
Right?
me? But that's exactly why people don't like you.
Shut the door, please.
That's what
Right?
you end up
It
finding
is.
out is it's a
Yep.
jealousy. And I don't want anyone to feel that way, but I can't control how other people feel. So it's
Right.
coming to that realization that we are only in control of ourselves. That's a little tough.
Right. It
And
really
so if
is.
someone out there is watching and they've been made to feel like something's wrong with them and they've been nothing but good intended and kind, just know that I feel you.
Yes.
You're fine.
Yes,
You're
we
perfect
do.
just the way you are.
So, do you remember your first experience, your first valid, I, I don't know if valid is the right word, but your
Validation.
first, yes, validation experience. How was
I do.
that?
Well, there was the little things when I was younger that actually made me shut off because when we're younger, we're very open from the ages of 6 to 11. We're really working with our right brain. And when you're in a vulnerable place when you're younger, and like me, I was bullied. So I was in that low vibrational state of being, then lower vibrational things will connect with you. So then
Yes.
you get scared, then you shut it out. However, when I was an adult, I'm a life path four. I'm known as the teacher, right? So I'm grounded also in my spirituality and I needed some proof. And so I asked for proof and it came in the strangest way. I was watching a rerun of some show with my husband and I wasn't really paying attention. I was in that daydream state where I was kind of staring at the wall beside the TV, not the TV. And I heard a name and it was Claire. It was so clear. I was like, what? I don't even know a Claire. So then I was like, I have to write this down. So I felt an urgency to write this down. So I grabbed a paper and a pen. I ran across my room to my desk in my bedroom and I started writing down these little things that were clairaudiently coming in. And it was 42, healer, shoulder length hair with glasses, the name Claire, obviously. And then there was a phrase and it was trust is earned, not given. And that was it. It just stopped. And the ear ringing stopped. So I set down the paper and the pen and I walked back over to my bed. I sat down and the phone rang. I was like, oh, well, that's interesting. So it was my stepson's mother. And she said, hey, would you pull some tarot cards for me? Because at the time I was very well versed in the tarot. And I do intuitive tarot. I don't do like the Lenormand, or I can't even pronounce that. I don't do the technical tarot. But I said, sure, of course I will. What's your question? And she said, I want to know if my boyfriend wants to break up with me. And she was living with this man about an hour from where we live. And I was like, that's an odd question, but okay. So I pulled the cards. Everything was screaming third party. So I said, is it possible that there could be a third party involvement here? And she said, yeah, his ex-wife, Claire. And I said, what? She said, his ex-wife, Claire. I said, whoa, hold the phone. I said, I'm going to give you some snippets of information I just channeled like 3 seconds ago and see if it fits. Sure enough, I said, is she 42? And she said, yeah, she'll be 43 in a couple months. And then I was like, well, does she work like as a CNA or a nurse? Because I had the word healer. And that's my symbol for nursing, somebody, a caregiver of some sort. She's been a CNA for 25 years. And I said, does she have shoulder length, dishwater blonde to brunette hair with glasses? And she sends me a picture. By God, yes, exactly as I said. And she said, I don't want to freak you out, because when she got to his house, Claire was there. He said that he didn't think she should come there that day after work. She couldn't understand why. So she called me and I just channeled this information as he was probably speaking to her. And then it was trust is earned, not given. Claire says this phrase as she's walking out the door after Jordan gets there. So I was like, holy crap. That was my validation. That was my absolutely, this is legit. It was strange that it wasn't from the other side. It was a guide, but I was channeling a message for the living about the living.
Wow. So
that was huge.
That is huge. How can you tell the difference? And can you feel the difference between messages from the living versus the spirit world?
Yes, I can now. I won't say it's an innate thing that we can automatically do. If there's an exercise in my intermediate course that we do where I have people pair up and they each take turns. One gives, the first one will give the reader two names, one of a living person, one of a past. And they're going to connect with each person's energy with their name. And they're going to tell that person which one they think is the living and which one they think is not. And when you do that in repetition, that practice over and over again, you start to feel the difference. Where I thought the living was a more heavy feeling, it was opposite for me. Actually, the living person's energy was more light, actually. So strange. But when we did this exercise back when I was training with Maria Chats, she's amazing. Everybody go look her up. She is phenomenal. She's taken trainings with the best, but she's an awesome teacher. She said, it's strange you all got it wrong. And she was like, Sunny, I'm really surprised by you. It was opposite. It was just opposite of how she described it, but it was the same thing. If you can recognize it, it's the point. And beautiful readings, really heartfelt readings. I connected, I believe, with a 3-year-old cancer death person. I'm not going to reveal too much about that, but the person that I was paired with got a really profound reading out of that exercise. And that touched me to this day. I think back on that reading that was so meaningful and that she needed to hear, that she didn't even realize that day she needed to hear. So everything's correlated by spirit, and we are all very ignorant to the fact that every encounter, every conversation, whether we think it's not important or relevant to the topic that we're supposed to be having in a class or in any conversation, we don't realize that there's a reason why a person speaks on any one thing. And maybe we should pay attention, because you learn a lot by listening rather than speaking.
Yes, absolutely.
So it's just such an experience, this whole journey. And when you're meant for it, it just shows up in your face. I was writing books. I was a 4-time published author at the time. And I didn't even see the correlation between some of the terms I used for my books and mediumship and spiritual development as a whole. The Royally Divine, Ivy Transformed, Carly Calling on Angels. I mean, all of these titles. And then the first book I ever wrote back in 2016 was Ivy Transformed. And in it, her superpower was white light from the palms of her hands.
Oh, wow.
We have chakras in the palms of our hand. We use white light, God source energy to heal. So it was like, wow, her weapon was healing, love. Love was her weapon. And it was like, wow, looking back at how did I miss that?
Wow, that is amazing.
That's why journaling is so important.
Yeah. Yes. Yeah. Yes, it is.
And yeah, I want to mention, if I could real quick, a project that's in the works right now. Maria, myself, and my sister-in-law are doing a dream journal. And it's not your ordinary dream journal. In the backs of every page, just like you saw with the other journal, the photos in the back, is a photo that's been contributed by people from all around the world of their loved ones that are either living or past, places that are meaningful to them. And I have 100 spaces open for 100 more pictures. So I am opening up my messenger for anyone to contribute if they want a picture to be in that journal. There's no cost. I just need consent to use it in a published works, and that's it. So that's going to be published later on this year. I'm really excited about it. Maria's going to walk people through how to use the prompts I put on the pages to actually interpret their dreams themselves. There's so significant meanings to the strangest dreams. If you have a decapitation dream, we'll just do it for instance. It's not that someone's going to get decapitated. Say I dream that my husband gets his head chopped off, right? It actually, if you study Carl Jung, he is very, very famous in history books and till today. His interpretation of that would be that somebody has detached from their ego. They're now in their light, higher self. They have let go of all the human qualities, characteristics that weighed them down. So it's not a bad dream. It's not a bad dream. It feels bad, but it's not a bad dream.
But it's not, right. Okay.
I thought that was super interesting when I crossed paths with it, that would be the interpretation.
Yes. Yes. We need a dream interpreter on our website. That would be
awesome. I do dream interpretation. And I teach people, like Maria's going to do her section. It's going to call it's something with Maria, psychic corner, psychic dream interpretation with Maria, whatever her title she wants to name it is going to be for her. And she's going to walk everyone through how to do that for themselves. So everyone can do that.
I'm going to get her book, definitely.
It's like looking at symbolism and mediumship and how that correlates to how do you interpret that? And it's all really going within, and what does it feel like it means? And trusting that.
So if somebody wants to start tapping into their own mediumship, what advice would you have for them?
Follow your intuition. If you like tools, use them. Tarot's huge. Tarot for me, I did every single day live streams, free readings for hours on end and I was awkwardly looking up the meanings to the cards, everything. But that resulted in me being spot on for a straight year and feeling good and gaining confidence and hearing. My clairaudience kicked in. All of a sudden, I was more aware. I expanded my awareness. I was reading for a gentleman, and I kept hearing the two words, go back, go back, go back. And it was advice that he needed to go back to his husband back in his home. He had left his, he didn't leave in a bad way. He went to go help his daughter in another state. Get through some hard times she was going through on the brink of a divorce. And his husband was getting upset a couple months into him being gone. And he needed to let his daughter kind of stand on her own 2 feet. And he was grappling with what should he do. And Spirit very clearly said, go back home. Do not lose your husband. Your daughter is an adult and it's time. You've given all you can. There was a message. It was so profound. And I didn't even realize how big this was in the moment until after I got out of the live and I was sitting there. I was like, Tarot was a launch pad for my clairaudience to kick up a notch. From there, it was just the tarot did more and more for me. So if you use tools, absolutely be open to the fact that you are not just throwing cards down in front of you. Pay attention to what's coming in through your clairs, your senses, because you're going to note that things are coming in.
Right.
Pendulums, dowsing rods, I have both. I use them for personal use. To me, I don't resonate with them. So other people do. So it's whatever resonates with you is valid. There's no invalid way of starting out. You just have to have the commitment and the desire. I would say definitely do sitting in the power of meditation of any kind. Go to YouTube, look it up, and don't dismiss it if it's hard. Commit to it. Do it every day. And from there, ask your guides to direct you in the direction you need to find the teacher you're meant to find. And from there, it's explodes for everyone I've ever known, and myself personally as well.
Yes. In fact, I was on with Dax Wednesday night, and we were doing Mediumship Wednesday night, and he was just blown away.
I love that.
He was blown away, and it was awesome because he was doing it, and he's like,
Yes.
I'm not a medium. I'm like, it's okay. Yes, you
Don't
are.
say that. Never say that.
He's awesome.
I
Dax is pretty
know.
cool.
And I love it when someone finally has that realization that they can do this. Just there's no difference between us and anyone else. We're all the same. We're all connected. We are all one. And when we have this epiphany, it's really wild because, you know, you think of all these Hollywood people with millions of dollars, and they can go wherever, and they have these designer yachts. And here we are trying to figure out how we're going to pay the wheat energy peoples, right? And what we
Right?
don't take into account is that our thoughts create our reality. And we
Yes.
have held ourselves back because of the opinions that other people have imprinted on us. The
Yes.
opinions that money doesn't grow on trees, get rid of that, throw that in the trash, because it's an infinite energy. Money's nothing but an energy. You know, a dollar bill is printed by a man who created it in the quantum field. Okay, so God gave him the idea, right? Or Buddha, whoever it is that you consider your higher power is valid. So I want to say that first and foremost, I don't lean one way or another. For me, it's God. For you, it might be something else. Other people, higher power, whoever they see and look up to as in that way is valid. It is. It's what your belief system is valid. Everyone's is. And being able to have respect and hold space for everyone's beliefs is easier thing to do than people realize. I think people will gravitate towards judging before they are open to consider someone else's belief as valid.
Yes.
So yeah, getting started is easy. I remember this moment with Audrey, right, on the phone call, like, how do we start? This is so much. I did that. I went to the Facebook, I joined a bunch of groups. I started practicing psychometry with the photo reading. I was invited about a month later to be an approved reader for a group. And when I did mediumship, it was spot on. It was beautiful. I loved it. I loved every minute of it. But the owner of the group, I don't know what happened, but the owner of the group had messaged me and said that I intimidated the other readers and that I would have to be let go. I wasn't being paid, so I was like, let go. I was like, did I do something against the rules or something? She said, no, they're just intimidated. And I'm like, I'm sorry. I don't know how I intimidated anybody, but that's besides the point. But that's what happens when we elevate our vibration. Those who aren't elevated with us, instead of allowing us to help them elevate themselves, they just see it as a competition. And then once you start to make someone feel inferior, it's actually no one can make you feel inferior to yourself but yourself. However, other people project that and somehow make the good person the bad person and in their own minds. So we have to deal with these situations on a daily basis. Every single spiritual teacher or in the profession, the field of any kind will deal with this. Every day of their life in some capacity, and need to understand and hold space for that person without reacting negatively. And just be like, it's okay that you're not at the same place that I am. I respect you and I wish you well. And then just absolutely separate. That's what I do. I do now anyways.
So I have not seen any questions in the chat. At least not yet.
And I wish I could see the YouTube. That's driving me insane. Yeah, so if anybody wants to know, you know, and I might not be the teacher for everybody. I teach a very personable class. I do small groups from now on. I have one spot open only for one-on-one mentorship. I did create these classes that I'm finishing out with the intention to serve a community that was looking for a teacher that was affordable, because we don't see that often in this field. And I wanted to help a lot of people. And with that came a lot of controversy and things I didn't see coming, but I learned a huge lesson. I took away so much more from a bad experience with half of it. And then the other half was all positive and just amazing. I can't even describe my intermediate class too. They were just phenomenal. They started off scared. I felt like they were scared, and everyone's going to be scared at first. But when they started trusting themselves and really realizing that I'm not there to judge or grade you, I'm just there to push you in the right direction. That's it. I had people that I knew personally come in who were going through a really big loss in their life come in last week. And what they did for them two girls, these two sisters, was nothing short of phenomenal. I mean, one student of mine only needed to read for them. I didn't even have to say a word. And she very thoroughly proved that continuity of life exists and brought evidence and messages and all of the above. And I really no other readers I had two sitters, thank God, after that, because she blew the house up with that one. It was still wonderful to watch. So everything you do for other people in that respect, it will impact them forever. Anyone watching another mediumship reading for somebody else, even if they're not the sitter, can take something away from that experience, that proof of continuity of life. Our job as a medium is simply to prove the continuity of life. And there's a controversial statement in one of the books that I use for a lot of my curriculum. And it's that once we've proven the continuity of life through the evidence we bring through from spirit, that's it. We've done our job. We don't have to give messages. And I don't believe that to be the case. I believe that the messages are so important, and spirit prepares for what they want to say to their loved one before they come. And that's why I don't place a timer on things, because we don't cut spirit off. That's disrespectful, in my opinion.
Yes. Yes.
So there's all kinds of opinions out there, and neither ones are right or wrong. What you believe within yourself is right and feels right is right. And that is it. It doesn't matter if it aligns exactly with Joe down the street or myself. If you believe it and you feel it is right, it is right. And that's getting past the hierarchy of life is the hardest part in this niche. It's okay to look up to people, but it's not okay to compare yourself.
Absolutely.
Comparison is the thief of all joy. And this comes with so much joy. My first student, and I love her to death. She's probably watching this. She's amazing, amazing. Her guides were like chomping at the bit, ready for her. And I was like, girl, you're gonna take off like you don't even know. And she did. Everything I said came to fruition. And it was so amazing to watch. But the one thing that caught my attention was, oh, I wish I could read at your level. She would really praise me. But in that, I saw somebody who wasn't seeing their own worth and their own value, because you are just as good, even if it's your first day of training. I believe you are. So I don't hold a hierarchy, and I become very personable with my students. And some people don't like that. Some people like structure, and that's okay. I don't have any bad feelings about that. I just say, okay, I know a lot of structured teachers. I have a list of recommendations I'm happy to give out. I'm not like fighting with people over anything silly like that. Spirit guides my life.
Steph says she is here.
She is. She's amazing.
She sends a heart, and she says so much growth since then. And
we do have her. She's just
And I would also like to mention for our callers who are on Blog Talk Radio that if you go to psychic.cafe/live, you can join the YouTube and ask questions about mediumship or reading. That is available. Feel free to come on over. We do have Jill she is on YouTube as Metacrazy, but her name is Jill, and she actually has a question.
Okay.
She says she has a question. She would like a reading. I gotta go back a minute. Where did it go? I want to know if I am supposed to be with Luke, or if I am holding out for nothing, or whatever the cards, I'm assuming they want to tell me, or the spirits want to tell me.
Okay. That's okay. I want to say first of all, the name Anne keeps saying repeatedly over in my head. I don't know if Anne would mean anything to this person, but I have a female coming forward for her and wanting to give her an answer, whether this be part of her team or a loved one that maybe passed. Remember your worth and know inside that you always have the answer yourself. This isn't an easy yes or no. I feel like there's a lot of confliction. You don't have to be good enough for anyone. You have to be good enough for you. And so whether Luke and you are meant to be together is going to be dependent and vary upon how does Luke make you feel. Do you feel like you have to earn his love in some way or their love? Because that should never be. It should always be an equal exchange. That person should want you in as equally as you want to be with them. Can I ask, are they currently in a relationship, or were they previously in a relationship?
Do you have your...
I sure do. I'm just like, I was channeling for a second, so I'm wanting to know a little bit more if she could. And I don't like to fish for information. I just need a simple answer to that.
Jill says her Nana is Anna.
Okay. Anna, yeah, that makes sense. Know your worth. Your Nana is I heard it immediately before you said there was a caller. Matriarch. She's definitely guiding your path here, and she's wanting you to take an introspective look at the situation that you're going through and decide if you have to in some way make yourself feel worthy enough for another, then it's a no. If this isn't a new love that you're trying to blossom, then consider it. She said the answer lies within you, and she's really being kind of like a teacher in my head here, wanting you to learn this in your own way instead of get an easy answer. I'm gonna pull some cards quick though, just because she's giving me look at High Priestess in reverse. So following your intuition is so key here. You already know the answer. It's inside of you. Don't reject it or turn it away because you think it's, giving you the wrong, answer that you don't like. Sometimes we get what we need to hear, not what we want. Oh yeah, Ace of Cups in the reverse with the Two of Wands. 222 is significant. I don't know if you've seen that a lot lately. I don't do third party energies, but I do see a happy outcome here with the Sun for sure. You're going to find the answer to this pretty quickly, actually. Who is this? Jill? Is her name Jill, Michelle?
Yes.
Okay. Because Would she understand why Anne would call her Jillian?
Jill.
Because I feel like, and this could be just a symbolic for like being very good with their words, articulated. Somebody who would say Daniel instead of Danny, right? Somebody who is
Right.
very I don't want to say like, I just say prim and proper kind of would be
Right.
how I want to say that. You already know the answer. I keep hearing that over. Yes. Oh my gosh. Victory, overcoming obstacles, success,
She said yes.
determination. No obstacles going to stop you. Nothing.
Mm.
And this is also a Cancer card. The Chariot. It speaks of moving forward, and the card is yes, and then beneath it's the Three of Cups, which is also a celebratory card. Whatever you do choose is going to bring a lot of happiness to you, engagements. And then I cut the deck to I choose which traditions I embrace and how I plan to do it, right? So this is the Hierophant, and that just speaks of non-traditional viewpoints. Look at this from another aspect and see the future. Literally go within and visualize what it is that you want for yourself. If it's this relationship, you'll feel it, know it, and everything about it will feel right.
Yes.
So I think Jill is actually very, very psychic. And I don't know if she can understand me saying that.
Yes. She said yes, because Jillian. And then she said it was when she realized she was a medium and
Oh,
that Danny is one of her friends. And she knew she was a medium during Hurricane Ian.
oh, that's my son's name is Ian. That's
Oh,
interesting.
wow.
My youngest
Yes.
son, who is a Scorpio and who is very, very vulnerable and very open. His name is Ian. But
Nice.
you got to let go of any insecurities. She's really bringing forward insecure, not feeling good enough. For some reason, I keep repeating this, like
Right.
you feeling like you need to earn your way or do something special to gain favor, and you don't. It's always been within you, always. It's time to embark on a brand new beginning. So whatever this is, it's going to feel new, fresh, and you're going to know it without a doubt. Oh yeah, clarity is coming, girl. Ace of Swords with the Fool, 0 and 1. Look at that. And so the conflict here really is just having an inner struggle with yourself, and between the ego and your spiritual intuition. So yeah. And then the Queen of Cups in the reverse. So emotional, letting your emotions kind of drive your decisions isn't going to be a wise thing to do. Get grounded, centered, and then ask yourself that question you asked me, and you're going to know your answer immediately. Don't look at the past. This Five of Cups, this speaks of sadness. Bringing past sadness into current situations will not help you. And look at this. Four of Wands. This is my marriage card. This is strong foundations. Once you can look past the loss and the sadness of the past and embrace your current energy and recognize that you're very powerful. I can feel how psychic you are from here, but you've had a lot of struggles. There's been some injustices and some people that weren't very nice to you. Holy crap. Somebody's not taking accountability for something in this situation as well, but you're resilient. I don't know why I keep hearing this term Pied Piper. Pied Piper. What is a Pied Piper? Isn't that part of a song? Jill, you should be in a advanced mediumship class. just for structure purpose. I feel like you're very tapped in. And Anne is also bringing forward a granddad. Granddad is here with me, she said. Your granddad. And this is your rite of passage.
She said, I know I only became the truth about being a psychic medium and remote viewer a year ago. I lost my husband before I met Luke. Piper from Charmed. And
Truth.
she has taught herself.
That's the card I just pulled.
And Jill, I know you can't afford it right now, but I do have to say that Sunny's classes are super affordable. Like, I normally can't afford it, these types of classes, but her classes are so affordable, I was able to do it.
And I do a scholarship program as well. Every single class I ever have taught in to date has had a person who is in on scholarship, and I fund that myself. I wanted to do two spots, so there is a link in my PayPal where people can donate toward a second scholarship position in every class.
Awesome. So
yeah, Jill, just follow your heart and stay connected, because you'll have lots of opportunities if you connect with me on Facebook. I run a free circle every Sunday. I teach in that circle, and it's by donation or free if you don't have money. So there's lots of opportunity out there. You just have to open your eyes to see it, and don't worry about money, because it's things that are meant for you will come for you, whether you have that or not.
Okay.
Where there's a will, there's a way. There's a reason you're here, Jill. I promise you that. I knocked out my whole big bin of makeup just went flying because of my water.
So I have 3 more questions in the chat, it looks like.
I'm always down.
Right. We have a little bit of time before graduation.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So Irene has asked for a general reading.
Absolutely. I keep hearing Cameron. But I'm gonna pull some general cards. I love the name Irene. It was my late mother-in-law's name, and we named my son Ian Michael after Irene Marie.
Mm-hmm.
Fun fact. Irene's been coming up a lot. Last night it came up a few times too, the name.
Okay. I love that name. It is so beautiful.
Okay, Misty, don't underestimate yourself. Assert your independence right now. The Queen of Wands. Confident, a warm, intelligent, and graceful human being. All right. See what is coming. I did pass. Oh, girl. Wow. All right. I know exactly what I'm working with here. You're trying to make a decision regarding something, and you need to think about your life experience. You're going through a little bit of stress right now. Don't give up. Protect what you have created and have courage. Believe in yourself is like the overabundant energy here. There's a period of rest, some things you need to kind of let go of, but karmic justice is coming in. Also, I have to show you these. Oh yeah, decision. There's double twos, 2 of swords, 2 of pentacles here. There's a decision that you are grappling with here, and then the high priestess also is the number 2 in this deck. So the Queen of Wands, I always show my cards in 3s. Okay. So the first one we had out was the Queen of Wands for your energy. Very much, you're born and intelligent and graceful. You just underestimate yourself a little bit. The moon speaks of important psychic insights. There's things going on behind the scenes. So just let them fears go. Quit being afraid. Move forward with confidence in the high priestess energy here, because your intuition is guiding you towards this. The 10 of Pentacles dropped immediately with these. And this is abundance in financial for sure, and happy family life, financial security, finding the magic in the little things in life. And I asked what is the challenge here, and I got the double twos, the 2 of Swords with the 2 of Pentacles. So there's like in your mind, I feel like you're grappling with the decision, and it could have to do with a job, or it could have to do with money in some sense. There's a need to make a decision, but you need to just consider a more playful approach instead of letting it repeat in your mind, something you've worked very hard for. Life experience came out with the 9 of Wands, and there's been a life event, a significant life event or revelation that's going to lead to some change, and it's time to spread your wings has come out in 3 of these cards. It's hilarious. So yeah, I feel like you're stressed right now. You're going through a little bit of stress, but you need to know that there are things ahead, and you're going to use everything you have learned, integrate it into this decision that you make. And sometimes we do have to take a rest, and we need to let things go. The 6 of Swords speaks of leaving behind things or people, places, jobs that just are not serving our higher good. And it can be hard to let things go that we don't want to necessarily let go with our human minds. I am going to pull a couple oracles really, really fast. I know that we don't have tons of time, but I have my divine feminine out here, and I'm going to see which card I get for you. Wow. I hope that resonates for you, my dear. You're definitely dealing with the decision. We said general, but I feel like this is more okay. And Nana, the Queen of Heaven and Earth. I have nothing to hide. I see and accept all that I am. Inanna is actually a guide as well. She is one of my friend's guides and was channeled recently. And then Lalia, the saint of spoken words. Every word I say becomes prayer. I am the author of my own story. So choose your path based on how you feel, what makes you feel good and which one doesn't, and go from there. So I hope that makes sense to you. And I appreciate your question.
Okay. Let's see. The next one we had was from Kayla, and she wanted to know, I got to go back just a little bit here. Sorry. She wanted to know about her nanny, Evelyn. Let's see if I can find that. Would be so grateful for a message from my nanny, Evelyn.
Okay. Her grandmother, Evelyn?
Yes.
Okay, absolutely. I don't need my cards for that. I'm just trying to get them out. My wisdom back. I don't know why she's calling you short stuff, but I feel like in this she could be calling somebody else short stuff, but I hear the term short stuff. Like, I don't know if it's a funny thing or what's the deal there, but somebody who's shorter in stature is how it's being presented. I feel like you're sitting in a rocket ship that's about to launch. That's what she's showing me. And you're fighting with the fear of the unknown. You don't have to have all the answers. You just have to go for it. And I won't know what that means. I'm not trying to know what that means, but you will. And she's also showing me a little boy, if you can understand, either a little boy of significance, whether you have a son or there's a little boy within the immediate family that would make sense for you. And I got the letter C also coming forward very prominently. Why do you think such negative thoughts about yourself is really prominently what she's wanting to say, but she's also wanting to give some evidential information. Would she be able to understand a cane or a walking stick of some kind, either she may have used or somebody connected to her used on a daily basis?
She did say yes, me short stuff. LOL.
I love that. Why are you being so hard on yourself? Short stuff.
And she said yes, also for the boy that she understands.
Okay. Good things come to those who wait is a saying that's been known forever, but she's saying that to me, like, you have waited so long for something to come to fruition that you've almost given up on it. And she's like, you didn't come this far to come this far. So the feeling here is to take life by the horns and don't let it take you by the horns. There's a lot of magic within you, and I feel like you're a people pleaser as well. She's showing me a selfless nature, someone who will do for others before themselves, but you need to remember you have to be in a good place in order to be anybody's savior. There's nothing you've ever done in your life that makes you unworthy, whether you think so or not. Beautiful soul, just beautiful soul. This woman feels very humble. I feel like she wasn't like draped in jewelry or something in life. And she's really very, very astute as far as wisdom goes. She's very wise, but she's got a comedic nature to her. Make a list of your goals and just start checking boxes. It was her message overall. And see the things you have already accomplished and done. Look around you. Look at the people around you that you have in some way been there for, raised, or done things for. You just need to really understand your own worth. Eyes on the sky. 1 second. I wanted to say, my ego wants to say prize, but she's saying keep your eyes on the sky. There is no limit. When people say sky's the limit, there's no limit. So I mean, as a final message before I release her energy, because she's really wonderful. I like her. I could keep her for all day, but she's like, you're missing me, but I hear you, and I'm not even very far.
Oh,
she's missing her Nan very, very much. And I feel like she's probably crying at the moment, and she's wanting to dry her tears. And she said, pay attention to your left side. That's me. So I think that she's getting chills possibly, or feeling some sort of sensation. And that's going to be a tell. It's going to be the way she comes in for her, and she might be able to start recognizing that and communicating herself with her Nan.
Absolutely.
If she knows what eyes on the sky means, I would love to know, because I'm like over here baffled. Like, what does that mean?
Right.
And we're not supposed to know what it means, but
She says, thank you so much.
Oh, you're very, very welcome.
And Irene said, yes, it makes sense. Beautiful reading. I never thought of mediumship and tarot working together. Is there a link to your courses? Loved the reading.
I don't have a link currently up because I am putting together the first syllabus ever. I used to not ever have a syllabus. I'm using an outline for my Elite Advanced right now. So there is an upcoming beginner's course, level 1, and then there's a beginner plus course that will be announced next week. So if you just go to the Facebook, find me on there and go to the Psychic Mediumship Development Support Group. It's all in my link tree. I don't know how I could share my link tree to the chat here, but everything to find me is in the link tree so that you wouldn't miss it being announced. But when it gets announced, it will go up on that group, the Facebook group. And Michelle has the link to that, I'm sure, the Facebook
Yes.
group. It will be announced there when signups are open, and I do schedule free consults with every student from now on to make sure that I'm the right teacher for them. It's about 20 minutes. It's free. It's over Zoom, and they get the opportunity to ask me any questions, find out, what kind of materials do I need? How much does it cost? All the things. So
Yep.
join the group and you will have access to when that comes out.
Absolutely. So Tarot by Pamela Steele, who I love, Miss Pamela. She is amazing. She has asked for a general reading. I believe that's what she asked for.
Pamela Steele. I love that name.
Yes, Pamela Steele. I think she asked. I'm going to go back up and.
And that's why they're having me pull out my Work Your Light oracle. I'm like, why am I digging for this deck that is in this drawer somewhere? Because I don't use it on my regular readings, but for people who are already mediums and psychics, they often want me to grab that deck.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, I was wondering why I was digging for this. And I don't know if this is so general there, Miss Pamela, because it's answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? Your guidance is divinely guided. I think you already know that though, but how can you mother yourself is really the overall one here. Self-care. I think when we get into our work so much, we're all about helping everybody else. But you're being called to step up right now. Look at this. The second time the same thing comes out in a different card in the same deck. This is the Priestess. How are you being called to step up and lead? What are you hanging on to that you need to let go of? Once that's done, it's like the answer just comes in for you. Super tapped in. Wow. I like Pamela's energy. It's like so fierce. Her team is like, I should have asked consent. I skipped the most important part of my whole process here. I'm getting a little too excited. But her guides just reminded me to get consent. Okay, taking a step back is going to be important. Yeah, look at this. Take a step back, and this is look at what's not serving your life anymore. It says, thank you, angels, for helping me to step back from what's no longer serving me. Oh my goodness. And taking time to breathe. Wow. Spiritual abundance. You have infinite abundance. Things that are going to be just fine. I don't know if you feel like you've been in like a stagnant energy for a minute here. It's in preparation for what's coming. It's like the pause is not for nothing. It's like the Hanged Man card, right? an earth angel is very prominently sticking out to me. You've been doing this work, I want to say, since at least 2012 in the public, and I could be wrong on that, but I'm seeing 2012 being a significant year for you, and probably a lot longer. Very renowned and been through a lot of transformation. You have a lot of spiritual gifts, and you connect with music. These are my angel cards, and that's if you want to know, that's Zadkiel, Raziel, and Ariel, talking about being a peaceful warrior, standing your ground with peace, and understanding and holding space for those people who like to pass the judgment, and trusting yourself overall. I hope that made some semblance of sense, because I felt like I was just rambling, but they're just giving me stuff so fast.
Well, and she said, that is my question. And that makes perfect sense.
Ooh, so this one, for one last thing here, I can't pronounce this right. Thekla, the prophet test of true power, calling your power back from all times and places, and it says, I am my own. So calling your power back, doing a cleanse also, release all that doesn't serve you. It's time to be the truth of who you are and stand fully in your authenticity, because there is nothing about you that is to be hindered at this time.
Absolutely.
Yeah, every day your light grows brighter. Bridget comes out for a lot of people that are in this niche, so to speak, and I am an internal flame, and each day my light grows brighter. And when our lights grow brighter, we feel happier. However, other people don't always react well to that, and it's being able to have the self-awareness enough to understand that it's okay for not everyone to understand you and who you are, and paint whatever narratives they like, as long as you know who you are.
Absolutely.
That's one powerful woman.
Yes. Pamela Steele is an author, tarot deck creator.
Sounds like me.
She's just awesome. And I've had the privilege of doing some readings with her, and I love the connection I feel to her. I just love her. She's amazing. I adore her.
She's like in a state of integration right now. You know, that phase 2 where you integrate everything that you have learned, and you're being prepared for something much bigger, a leveling up of some sort, and it doesn't feel like that. Kind of feels hard, like a dark night of the soul. And I recently went through this, so I definitely know it can be easy one time around, and the next time might be way harder, to be able to see that it all has a purpose, even if you can't see it right now. You don't have to have all the answers. Just go for it.
Yep.
I feel like there's something like some idea that she's got going on that she's been thinking about doing, but it comes with risk and big reward. So I follow your intuition on that one for sure. On the precipice of change. I don't know why I want to say that, but that's how I feel. I'm going to leave it at that. Yeah, you're the warrior. Look at that, the warrior. Yes. You have fought many battles, my love. Oh my goodness. And then right beneath it, we got the message from the other side, which is you've seen the signs. You've been seeing signs from your guides telling you to keep focusing and understand that the differences, right? In the chaos that we're about to hit. Look at this. That is like we're moving through chaos right now, energy. Beautiful. And we need to stay focused and realize that there's differences in the world, right? So the apple and the orange are in the same bowl. They're different colors, different shapes, but they're still in the same bowl. They're both fruit. They're both the same thing, but they're different. So just really appreciating the fact that, it doesn't matter if there's differences. That might be the beauty of it. And
Absolutely.
369. Wow, this is 36 and then chaos is 9. 369. So there's something about differences and chaos going on here. I'm too interested. All right, I'm gonna let the energy go. Pam, I know you're gonna do some really great things coming up, and I know you've done already a lot of great things that karmically, girl, I don't even have words. Good karma.
Sunny, I so appreciate you coming on my show today.
Oh, I have had so much fun. I love reading. I could read
Yes.
forever.
Yes, but unfortunately, we have to go get ready for graduation. Steph just mentioned it too. So,
Yes,
for
yeah.
all of you out there that did not get a reading, do not panic. I will ask Sunny to come back another day and we
Yep.
will be on again.
And if you
So,
can get the link to the group that I have on Facebook, that
yes,
if they can get to my link tree or on TikTok, it's under A Soul's Journey,
a
or
soul
Sunny
journey.
with an I.medium.pub.author. Just go to the TikTok. The link tree has all of my information. If somebody wants to book a reading, find out pricings or different things, listen to my Spotify interview I did with Eighth Level. There's all kinds of things there. So thank you for having me. I appreciate you
Yes,
so
thank
much.
you.
And I will see you guys later.
Yes, thank you so much, you guys.
This is
Check her
gonna sound
out.
silly. How do
Sunny
I exit?
Hancock. We're gonna exit. Just hang on for a few minutes.
Okay. I like that.